Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about mindset and some things that have been coming up a lot in my management sessions with my clients, questions that keep happening. First off, I'm Rick Barker, host of the Music Industry Blueprint podcast, former manager of superstar Taylor Swift. Thank you so much for supporting these videos. If this is your first time, welcome. I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button. I put them out every week. If you're one of those people that continues to share, thank you. I super appreciate it. Is that even right, Hannah? Super appreciate it?
Sure.
It's more than appreciate it. It's like super appreciate it. I think you know what it is that I'm saying. So what I want to talk about today is chasing the numbers, chasing the next fad, chasing whatever you all of a sudden see someone else doing, thinking that that's going to give you that quick fix. Unfortunately, there are no quick fixes in the music business. I wish there were. A lot of what you see happening has been years of work, have been years of no's, have been years of staying focused on what it is that's important. The most important thing to focus on is the music. I talk about that a lot. Hannah and I were talking the other day because she's like, you always bring up, make sure your music doesn't suck. What do you mean by that? And I said, well, I mean a couple different things. First off, learn how to sing. You don't have to have the best voice, but you need to be a good singer. There's a lot of singers that aren't on perfect pitch and they don't have 90 octaves. Someone was bragging the other day about, oh, I only hit 4 octaves. I hit 6 octaves. I don't care unless the song relates to me how many octaves you can hit. But some people are impressed by that. So go find people that love octaves or loud singers. The key is making sure your music fits for whoever it is that you're trying to get the music to. And this is going to tie back into the mindset. So you get the music right. One of the strategies I suggest is if you know 2 artists, 3, 4, 5 artists that you're familiar with, create a playlist. You can do it in Spotify, you can do it on Apple, and put the famous person, put your song, put the famous person, put your song, put the famous person. Have other people listen to it, not just yourself. Start with you, because you want to learn how to be honest with yourself. And if it sticks out for the wrong reasons, then you're not quite there yet as far as making sure that your music doesn't suck. What I mean sticks out for the wrong reasons. Maybe the production sounds dated. Maybe the mix is bad. Maybe your vocals are off. So make sure that it could play through and no one's going to go, what was that? You want people to go, holy crap, what was that? Same words, we just added holy crap in there, but yeah, you know what I mean. You want them to get excited about wanting to then go follow you or see who you are or click your name and things like that. And we'll discuss that in a whole other video on how to go from finding passive listeners to active listeners. I'm not even sure if we've done one on that. I know I've talked about it on the subject, not sure if we've done one in YouTube yet, but we'll get back to you on that one. So once you realize that your music's right, now all of a sudden, you're like, okay, now I've got to get this music in front of an A&R person. I just had a text message with one of my clients that says, hey, I've got a meeting with an A&R. What should I do in that meeting? What he wanted me to say was, these are the questions you should be asking about a contract, about a deal, and things like that. My answer was, more music. He's like, more music? He says, would 10 songs work? Should I get like 10,000 listens on all those songs? And I'm like, no, let's stop worrying about the numbers and start worrying about the quality of the music and the relationship that you have with your fans. I get this question all the time. Rick, how many followers should I have for a label to be interested in me? How many subscribers should I have for a manager to want to work with me? It's not about the likes and subscribers. It's about the engagement. Are the fans sharing your music? Are they buying your are they tipping? You know, a lot of people are doing the virtual tip jar right now. Are they tipping you? Are they sharing? What's the activity that's going on between you and the fan? Don't focus on, I got this many followers on this platform and I post this many times on this platform and I do this. And no, stop worrying about the data. Start worrying about the relationship. Those are the next questions that I think a good A&R person is going to ask. The music's going to get their attention. If you only have one song, I would be careful about trying to get a meeting with a label or a manager or a booking agent on one song. Get the catalog of music together first, because what they're going to do is they're going to hear it and they'll go, great, do you have another one to play? Well, I've only written this one. Really? So how long have you been doing music? Last 3 years. And you've only got one song to show me? You're not that worthy of a record deal at that point, if that's your answer and if that's what's going on. So that's what you want to be careful of. I want you to get excited about the fact that people are reaching out to you, but what they're also going to do is they're going to do their homework. I had a conversation with a mom today, and her daughter is one of my favorite people in the world, was actually one of my very first management clients, and she was featured in an article. She's got 3 million TikTok followers. She is unbelievable. I mean, so talented. This girl can play, she can sing, she's unbelievable. One of the best people as a human being that I've ever met in my life. And what happens is that when A&R departments, and that stands for artist and repertoire, those are the people at the label who most folks are trying to get contact to listen to your music, hear your music. They kind of see what's going on, and then they'll move you up the ladder, to the head of A&R, and then to the record label president, possibly to see about getting a record deal. So what happens is when they read an article, or they come across one of your videos, or someone says, hey, have you heard about this person? They're going to do their own research before they contact you, okay? They're trained to say, okay, here's all these numbers across all these social media platforms. Has that transferred over to their music? So they'll go look at Spotify, and they're going to say, okay, they've got 9,000 monthly listeners. Are those monthly listeners becoming followers? And then they're going to go and they're going to look and say, wow, they've only got 200 followers. For whatever reason, it's not connecting yet. And that's where you have to figure out how to get them from here to here to here. It's kind of this movement. We're going to, this is our biggest platform. Let's say it's Instagram. And you've got 85,000 people on Instagram. What I would be doing every day is I would be focusing on letting them know that you're an original artist and that you would really love for them to come follow you over on Spotify, that you release music often on Spotify. Do that in stories. Do that over and over and over again. At the taping of this video, it's June, today, the 9th?
8th.
June 8th, okay. June 8th, 2020, I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna happen in real time. Hold on, I've been playing on TikTok. Somebody was making some carrot bacon. It was interesting. Okay, so right now I have 209 followers on my TikTok. So TikTok was not a strategy for me. It wasn't a place where I felt that I could bring value. Being a 53-year-old dancer on TikTok, doing the white buff challenge and all that stuff, I didn't feel brought value. I didn't feel it was a good use of my time. No one's going to all of a sudden go, oh my gosh, that guy can do a dance really well. I should learn the music business for him. I can't serve you by dancing. I can't serve you by lip syncing. Well, TikTok just announced when you have 1,000 followers, you can now go live for a long time. Guess what? Now that makes sense. Why? You can do cover songs on TikTok. The whole platform is built on people singing cover songs. You can do you and a guitar singing a cover song now. That makes sense. I've watched a lot of musicians over the last couple of days being very creative in a minute. Because right now you can do up to 60 seconds of your original music. Now you can start building that audience. Well, are you going to grow as fast? No, but you're going to get the right people. So as of today, 209 people. I'm going to use my Instagram, where I have almost 40,000 followers, and I'm going to go live on an Instagram later on this afternoon, where I usually will get 3, 4, 5, 600 people that will come and watch it, and I'm going to ask them to come support me over on TikTok and let them know when I get to 1,000, then I'm going to start teaching and start doing live Q&As. See, I teach best in Q&As. That's where I win. That's where I help people the most. That's where people realize, I don't want to say the simplicity of this business, but I'm very good at simplifying very, complicated subjects. So when I'm able to spend an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours talking to people, answering their questions, helping other people, that's what's going to help me grow my business the right way. What I'm going to start seeing is if I'm getting the right people. Are they the ones calling up asking me if I can connect them with Taylor Swift? Are they the ones that are going to go, hey, could you get Taylor to duet with me here? Then I'm not attracting the right person. So then I'm going to have to adjust my message and even make it more clear. And that's what we have to do sometimes in our business, is when we look at the numbers and they just don't add up. It's like, wow, I've got all these people that show up to my lives, but no one's then going to a free training or a webinar. It's usually the message. And that's what I want you to look at. Wow, I've got all these followers on this platform, but I'm not able to get them over to my music. Or every time I go live, people are dropping off after the first 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Well, then that's the stuff that we need to fix. So the numbers that I want you to look at is, are they translating over to the areas that we're trying to drive people? In digital marketing, we call it a KPI, the key performance indicator. If your goal is to get people from here to here, if they're not going there, you're not hitting your KPI. If your goal is to get people to sign up for your email list, if you're not getting email signups, they're not hitting your KPI. If the goal is to get people to watch your video and they're not watching your video, you're not hitting your KPI. Those are the numbers that I want you to focus on: the engagement, the shares, the video watch times. Got a great email from a client of mine, Tanner, and he said, hey, Rick, would you look at these numbers and tell me if they're okay? And it was the amount of time people were watching his video, how many views, how much it was costing him. We had certain numbers that we were looking at in order for us to say, yes, this was a success. So if we're not getting them from point A to point B, let's figure out what the problem is. If people aren't sharing your music, let's get that fixed. If people aren't sharing your video of you singing, let's get that fixed. That's a polite way of telling you that this just isn't working for me yet, to be able to put my stamp of approval on it, to share it with my friends. If we see a good movie, do you keep it a secret? No, you go and tell everyone you know about how great that movie is. If you just watched a Netflix series, if it wasn't any good, you don't tell anyone about it. If it was, you're going to tell someone about it. Are people telling folks about your music? If they're not, let's get that fixed. All right. Any other suggestions, questions, possible topics for future episodes? Just write down there in the comments. I would love to hear from you. We keep an eye on them. Hannah and I are the two that go back and forth. If you're getting responses back, it's from one of us. I wish I could spend all day just listening and reading and things like that, but I can't. So I've got her watching out for me. If there's something that you need to get a hold of me, make us aware inside the comments, and it will definitely get to me at some point. All right. So I promise you that. Thank you guys so much. Hit the subscribe. If you want to hit the bell and you know how to go find notifications, do so. I would much rather hear from you on Instagram, quite honestly. Hit me up at Rick Barker Music. Shoot me a DM. Speaking of DMs, if you want a free copy of my book, just DM the word book. If you want to get a free training on my social media, just DM the word social. Pretty cool little strategy I'll be teaching at another time on how that works, but it's super cool. So DM me on Instagram at Rick Barker Music, and I'll see you in the next video.